Good morning, everyone. John Arms with Voyageur University. Today I'm going to share with you a sales system that is designed specifically for people who are independent professionals. Now, what that means in the gig economy is freelancers, consultants, fractional chief, whatever you want to call them, interim leadership, whatever you want to call it. It's got a lot of different names. It lives inside the gig economy. But the whole idea is if I leave a job where there's a bunch of people around and I have a role, if I leave it by force or by choice, if I leave that job and I want to go into the independent world, my biggest fear is going to be, how am I going to get sales? And the benefit of having been, launching Voyageur University and having members, a lot of members, is we get to see what's worked and what we have honed. And I'm here to tell you that the sales system you're going to see here is built on top of the successes that have happened for people who have been living the independent career for quite some time now. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. Here's the thing. There will be a time maybe later as your independent practice grows where larger tools, Salesforce type tools, HubSpot type tools, some other CRM is going to make a lot of sense. That there's a natural progression there. But what do you do when you need 4 clients, $5,000 per client in a year for a total of $240,000 per year? Well, for 4 clients, you just don't need that much. So we created the Voyageur University Pipeline System on top of something you already know. We created it on top of an Excel spreadsheet. And we understand and have followed the process of what we built originally for sales and then refined to what you have here. So here's what you're going to get when you use the Voyageur University Pipeline System. First thing, the tool. Okay, so let's talk about this. If you're an independent professional, currently looking to grow your sales, or looking at how this is going to happen if you do choose this career, there's going to be a few things that matter to you, and there's a lot of stuff that won't matter to you. So let's start with the numbers. For every customer per month, 1 customer per month, generally you should be charging about $5,000 per month per customer for your professional skills. And we'll talk about why that number makes sense, but let's start there. 1 customer, okay, that you have a contract with is the result of 10 prospects that are interested in having a conversation with you and would field a discussion about a contract or business relationship with you as in a fractional consulting freelance gig role, okay? So 1 deal equals 10 very interested people. 10 very interested people means 100 people that are above that level of interest, but they've interacted with you in some way, shape, or form. Okay, we'll just leave it at that for now. To have from that 1 to that 10 to that 100 means every month you need about 1,000 people who know who the heck you are, who have a general idea of what you can do and that you exist in the world. So from 1 to 10, from 10 to 100, from 100 to 1,000. That's it. 4 gateways, okay? That's what works, all right? So let's talk about where they're going to come from. Now I'm going to start from the top of the pipeline down. Here's what independent professionals need. LinkedIn. LinkedIn is obviously it is the business version of Facebook, right? It used to be just for job searchers. Now it's for all things business, okay? So LinkedIn, tool number 1. Tool number 2, your emails you've collected all these years. If you have gray hair, like most people in the Voyageur community or most people that are launching independent businesses, you've collected a lot of business relationships over the years. You may not have organized them very well. You may not have been paying a lot of attention to it. But between LinkedIn and your own just cards that you've kept, you've got contacts out there. Those are the 2 things that you're going to use to get that 1,000 eyeballs you need every month, okay? So this is what's going to be in the spreadsheet tool that we're going to share with you. Top of it is, with LinkedIn and with simple email, I'm talking the free version of MailChimp or the free version of Constant Contact or another simple email tool. Between those 2, you're going to be able to reach 1,000 people per month. It's not going to be that hard, okay? As long as you have those 2 tools. All right, that's part 1 to get 1,000 eyeballs a month. Part 2, well, how do those eyeballs come into interest? Again, that's going to come down to what you put out there on LinkedIn, the content you're going to share, and the emails that you're going to send. Those 2 things is going to get your 100 people that are opening, clicking, visiting, those sorts of things, okay? That's that 100 level. Out of there, okay, so we haven't changed technology yet. It's simple email, simple LinkedIn, those two tools, okay? We haven't added any more technology to it. Out of those 100, okay, some are going to email you and say, let's talk. Some on your LinkedIn page are going to say, I think we should have a conversation. Some are going to engage very heavily in an email that you send out that has value for them, and they're going to indicate that you should probably reach back to me, okay? 10 every month. So from that, the numbers bear out across hundreds of members and years of doing this is for every one customer that comes out of that, 10 people were at the interest level. Out of that, 100, were at the next level up. And then 1,000 were at the awareness level. So those are the things you need. You need LinkedIn. You need a simple email tool. If you choose to have a website, LinkedIn, it works just fine as your website, by the way. But if you choose to have a website, you can build one in GoDaddy. You can use the Voyageur U profile. You don't need to overthink your website too much. Later state, it might make a lot of sense. Honestly, right now, LinkedIn is so robust that the LinkedIn page should be doing most of what you need for a website. That being said, for $59 or some such thing and a few days worth of effort, you can have an awesome website up, and that would add to the impressions and interest aspects. But it's not required, it's not necessary. So let's recap here for a minute. What do independent professionals need to do in order to solve the fear of sales and have a regularly, performing pipeline? So everything I just talked about, which is in the spreadsheet tool that you're going to get as a member, all of those things are all you need, and you just need to do it every month. As you know, in business, nothing's going to happen overnight, but a repetition and consistency will win the battle over time. So let's say month one, as you're going independent, all right? You know the numbers you need to hit. You know the tools you're going to use to hit them. It's all right here. And it's something anybody, if you ever run a spreadsheet, you can get this. So now what have we done with sales? We've changed it from I need to have a big, robust personality to, or I need to get out there and network. I don't even know what networking is. Yes, that's part of it, but that's not it. It is process, it is repetition, and it is simple things done the right way over time. So when you think about if you need 4 customers, each delivering $5,000 a month, by the end of the year, let's say year one, they're not all going to come on the first month, right? So the first quarter, let's take it in quarters. First quarter, you might get 1. Second quarter, you're sort of getting there, so you might get 2. Third quarter might be when you get your 4th, and then you're sort of on your way. But you have to keep your pipeline full, and that's why this system is so beautiful. You're never going to spend more than an hour a week keeping your pipeline full. Maybe two, but it's just not that complicated if you follow the tools and follow the process right, okay? So now you've got not just a way to launch, but a way to sustain, all right? The knock on going independent, like all businesses, quite honestly, is it's feast and famine. Well, the only thing that's feast and famine about it is not using a tool like this to stay consistent about your pipeline, which is what gives you your sales, okay? So let's recap. That's 8 minutes right now, and I'm going to stop right there. You're going to get the spreadsheet. You're going to read it and say, this makes a lot of sense. Most importantly, you're going to say, I can do this. I can follow this process. I can do these things. And I can then have a full pipeline, which means you can then now contemplate, I can have my own business. I can go independent. I can go market myself as a professional fill in the blank here and get my own customers as long as I follow these basic rules inside the spreadsheet and literally inside this lesson. Last tool I'm going to mention, and there's a reason I kept it last, is one line in the spreadsheet is called events, also called networking. Once a month, you're going to need to get to a place outside of your home, probably a Zoom meeting, somewhere in your industry, and just participate in something free. But let's say you're in the finance world and there's a webinar on finance. Well, the whole idea is just to be there and be present. Okay, so you're beyond yourself. Those impressions are going to matter. People are going to see your name. So that is the last tool. Here's the reason I kept it last. That is a habit you need to get into, but you need to start once a month looking at, it's just 12 in a year is easy to get to. You can find them just through a simple Google search, or events are on LinkedIn. You can go to Clubhouse. There's no shortage of events. And all you got to do is participate. Dial in, listen, make sure your name is on the list of people who are attending. You're good. So last recap, LinkedIn, email, events, Okay, maybe a web page, don't have to have it. That is going to get you your impressions you need to get the other stages of deal flow going, where you're going to get your 4 clients, which equals $5,000 per, which equals $20,000 a year, or I'm sorry, $20,000 a month, which equals $240,000 a year, which is a great living in the independent world. It covers both your needs, mostly it'll cover your needs as a, to live, right, for family and have some savings and that sort of thing. It'll give you time for a side hustle. And so it'll fill that thing, but it'll get you out of that corporate environment that has you probably listening to this thing in the first place. So I hope you use this tool. It is what works for independent professionals, and it continues to work. We will hone it as we need it, but you will find it as a free offering when you join Voyageur University, and it's something our members already have access to. This used to be a $1,500 value. This used to be three consulting, $500 sessions where one-to-one we walk you through the very detailed way to use this. We realize with this video and you looking at the spreadsheet, you'll be able to get it. Our members have succeeded that way, and you will too. Best of luck. I look forward to seeing you in the gig economy.